when you guys teamed last year, so Vanguard, bro, when you guys went like 0-5 and you guys were going through it, and you guys came back and you guys won and stuff, like, I talk to Cap a lot. We see each other when we're out here in LA every once in a while, but like, bro, what was the turning point of that roster? Like, obviously you didn't lose like, confidence, at least from the outside. It didn't look like you guys like lost confidence in yourselves at all. You guys were just struggling. Like, I feel like that was one of the most underrated moments, and I know like the role switch and stuff is obvious, but I'm saying like there had to be more than just a role switch, or maybe I'm wrong, but like more. Yeah, that's what I've always thought, but like that was like one of the most underrated like turnarounds. You went from 0-5, last place, like not looking good. You guys are struggling. Like you had some ups and downs before then, but then all of a sudden like coming out and like being like the best team in the game. Like I always wanted to know like what happened with that.
So when we get 0-5, it's actually funny because we didn't lose full. Like, we didn't lose full confidence because like we were doing really well in scrims, and that was the issue. We were doing really well in scrims, and we just couldn't put together matches. And a lot of those matches in the 0-5, we lost game 5s. So it was like, dang, we could actually been like 4-1 here. We could have been 3-2. So it's like that was in the back of our minds, and we knew we were going to LAN. And obviously that was our thing. Like, yo, we're gonna play better on LAN. So obviously we still had a disappointing result at the LAN. And afterwards, like, I mean, my teammates will say that. Like everybody that's working with me will say that. I'm one of the first people to say anything about a match. Like no matter how well or bad I play, I'm the first person that's gonna say like, yo, we should have did this, we didn't do this, we didn't do this. So afterwards I'm instantly like, yo, what the we didn't do this? And I'm like, listen, I think we have because we had like a month or two break, and I think that's what actually like what helped us the most. We had a 2-month break or something like that, and that was like the best time in the like. And I was like, yo, listen, I want to try me on a sub and Zach on AR. Instantly, everybody agreed. Everything that happened before that, 0-5, place it bad at the LAN, just kind of went away. We're just like excited to have like a fresh start, and we kind of seen it as like a whole new team. And the idea was that Zach and Dill weren't the most communicative people. Like they're not the most talkative ones, and me and Sam were, and we're obviously on ARs, and we kind of wanted to split it where we had like one AR, like Sam obviously being IGO, like talking a lot, blah 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 blah, me giving out a lot of info because I call out a lot. I talk really fast. I'm calling out everything I see. I'm calling out what I'm doing. Like honestly, we thought that was actually going to be like what helped us was the communication thing, because that's what we thought we were like missing out on. And then practices started going better, and like people will gas like me on the sub, and I did get better at running the sub, but I feel like in general we were really good at all the maps that I could run a third AR or switch.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I feel like you guys are so good at those maps. Yeah.
So I feel like I wouldn't say it was a pacing issue for us, but I do just feel like the fresh start for us in the 2-month span that we had to practice us on new things was like really good for us. And I feel like the whole year was just like us trying to get good at Tuscan. I feel like Tuscan was like our big map, and then Berlin came in, Berlin Control came in, and that also is what helped us a lot because we're really godlike at that map.
Interesting. Yeah, dude. I just remember like thinking back at that season, like obviously the run that you guys had and that shit was nuts, but like that does make sense though too, because when I feel like with Sam being such a good communicator, and obviously you do too, like between you two, like you guys talk enough for the other two to like kind of do their thing and fry. But like when you're a sub, and like it's just different because like if Sam's like obviously theoretically like behind you guys a lot, obviously he's the slowest player on your team in that sense. Like if he's giving you a bunch of comms of like what you guys should do, what's going on, like what he's watching, like, and then you're in the front line obviously doing a lot of it too.
You're in the
like,
mix.
Yeah. And I think a big thing too, at least from like what you said, is like having that role switch and having that fresh start. Like I feel like that fresh start sometimes is all you need to like completely change your mindset of just practice. And like even like as an individual, like if it's a fresh start, it's like, all right, if I play this role or I just start doing my shit now together, like we'll be just disgusting. So like interesting. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, that was crazy because I feel like that was like one of the craziest things I've seen in COD in a long time. Because before that, everyone on shows like this and fucking podcasts and all this other shit was like, blow it up. These guys are fucking ass, fucking all this shit. Hey, Sam sucks. You guys suck. This guy sucks. It's like, dude, like then you guys came out of nowhere, flipped it around, and everyone loved you guys.
Exactly. I mean, like I said before too, is like practice was never bad.
Yeah, which is important. Like, that's the most important thing right there. Is like if your practice is never bad, like, and you have that faith that you can turn around, as long as like the team's not mentally chalked, I think that's like where you will always have a chance to
like. I don't even think this ever came out, but I'm pretty sure before we went 0-5, after the major we came back from, we went like 4 or 5 days straight of not losing a map
in scrims.
In scrims, yeah, we didn't lose a map in scrims for like 4 or 5 days straight. Like we had the record, and like, and we're just like paying attention to it. Obviously, we're godlike, and then we go 0-5, and it's like, what the? Like, what just happened?
So that was before you went 0-5. You guys were that good.
Right before we went 0-5, we literally came back from the major, and we were with 4 or 5 days straight, and didn't lose a map.
What? And then you guys went 0-5.
That's when you know, bro. You're just in the zone.
Well, you said you lost a lot of game 5, so I'm assuming in game 5, like that's a lot of search too, and that's as much as practice you get. Obviously, you don't get the same. Like I don't search practice. I don't think will ever be the same. That's what I like. You get like some things here and there, but I don't think it'll ever be like the same as like what it's just so hard to like, dude.
100%.
Even this year, bro, we scrim search and people just running down the middle of the map. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
bro, this whole year I'm literally like every day I'm like bitching in our scrim like, I hope this guy does it in a match.
Dude, we say the same thing. I feel like everyone says the same shit, bro, because everyone just tries some crazy rush and you're like, bro, I swear no one's doing this shit. Like people were doing the embassy hop up into top office from middle trees, and I'm like, what? Like that is not happening.
Like, we did see Sam try to 360 someone with a sniper last year. I'll give him that.
I do remember that too. That was on Desert Siege, right? You got a lot of shit for that. You got a lot of shit for that. That was tough.